Yo, what's going on? My name is LilNader400 and welcome to the next episode of Let's Build the Ultimate Theme Park and Theme Park Tycoon 2. Here you can see that's what we did last time. We finished the paths and stuff. So now I'm going to branch off this path. And now I actually cut this video down because I placed a ride and I even gave it like a little ride skin thing. And I wasn't a really big fan of it. So I just removed it. So I cut this part out just so I cut it out so all that you saw was me building the path, not the ride part, because it would have been pretty boring. Because it was like a 12-minute clip of me just building this thing, and then for me to have to just remove it didn't make any sense, so I just got rid of it instead. So what I'm doing here is I'm just placing more terrain to it's not like, you know, that like super fancy edited terrain that a lot of people, you see a lot of really advanced builders do with the edit terrain. I want them in mobile. I can't do that, and two, I didn't want that. I just wanted something to, I'm gonna cover it up anyway. It was like, well, why does it matter? Kind of just to add more area to the trees so that some are taller than others, because they're obviously all the same shape and height and stuff. So it's if you cover it up, it kind of makes it look like some of them are taller, and it makes it look like some are on a little hill. I mean, that's totally fine. It breaks up the scenery. Here you can see I'm placing some rocks. They're in the same order. It's kind of fine because they're more than likely going to get covered up eventually. I'm going to go back and fix some of this. And I also put a little wall, but you don't see that yet because it hasn't gotten to that part yet. Really enjoying this background music though. It's Better Days by LAKEY inspired if you want to. I leave links in the description of their thing. It says to edit in the name. There's more than one video, but there's more than one song, but I don't remember all of them, and it's not all LAKEY inspired, it's this other guy. Kane Blue or something like that. All I know is that I just like his videos. Or not his videos, his music. It's really good music, chill. Very chill music. Or just extending the path a little more. And today I'm actually you're gonna see it, is a nice haunted house, and it's not a, you know, big scary, like legitimately like dark looking house. It's actually pretty colorful. You'll see in a second once we get through this clip. But I can actually take the time to talk a little bit. I really want to just say, you know, everything that's going on outside in the world, and you can see some of the trees. It's a little bit scary. Hopefully you can take this time to just, I guess, unwind from that. I don't know. Doing this makes me kind of like de-stress from everything. I don't have to worry about it. I'm actually recording this the same day that I recorded the first episode, but I'm gonna upload it and then schedule it to be released tomorrow. This is Kane Blue, I think, playing. I forgot to say his name, but I'll leave a description. Or I'll leave a link in the description. Here I'm fixing that wall I told you about. I just thought it was better than the curb because it's a little taller, so it does break. That it does show like it's not aggressive and in the way and blocking the scenery, but at the same time it does show that difference between, it shows you, I misplaced there, it shows you exactly where the path is and where the scenery is and where the cut is different. And I'm gonna put more paths on that side. I just haven't gotten around. I just didn't do it in this episode, but I already see there, and that I accidentally didn't record that part, so sorry, but here we're just adding in some round poles to go with it, and you can see it's a lot of bright colors and like neon green and purple. By episode 4 you see a lot more of it, and it is a lot of fun to build. I had one just like it on a different park that I built before. So it's actually going to turn into a Let's Build, but I never actually got around to recording it. Just wasn't doing it because it was just like I just want to build for this one. I don't want to think about having to record it. So, but I'm putting myself in that position for this one, is that I kind of was like, yeah, I'm fine with that. So I'm just, you know, just doing it. But this is it's not exactly the same as that one, but the colors are the same. and like those are the same. It's gonna be very, very similar to that. You probably have seen if you're in nerdy Yoda girls. It's a tough name to say. If you're in her Discord, you will have definitely seen it if you pay attention to the self-advertising thing, especially King of Pixels, who pointed out, I said, I posted the picture one day, and then I said, these are old pictures, but then he's like, he took a screenshot, he's like, old you say? And it was said that day. I was like, no, I took the screenshots a while ago, but I posted it recently, but, you know, it's whatever. But here, I'm also gonna do the porch to the house. These are, kind of like something I feel like you would see at an actual carnival. I really like this ride. They have in the Jersey Shore on Gideon's Pier. They have this which is like a little theme park. It's technically an Atlantic City because it's just that border between the Ocean City Boardwalk and then the Atlantic City Boardwalk. And the Atlantic City Boardwalk is a lot shorter than the Ocean City one, but Gideon's Pier is so much nicer than like Castaway Cove. A theme park. It's like a kids' playland, I guess. There's a few nice rides in it. But they have this thing called the Dark Side of the Pier, which is like this. It's kind of like a dark ride, but it's a little bit faster, and it throws you around. And where they're from, they call them Rockin' Haunts or Rockin' Haunters or something like that. Well, we do. I do where I'm from as well. But I really should have. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to make a ceiling because I don't like the ceiling pieces because they kind of intersect with some of the other pieces. But I should have done that first. So I just make them look like. Actually, should have used wooden roofs, but whatever. It's already capped in. I don't really care. It's a minor detail. No one's gonna look over and say that's a concrete roof, but it's clearly imitating a ceiling. It should be wooden. So. Yeah, so anyway, I totally got sidetracked. I don't even know what I was talking about. Anyway, here what I'm doing is I'm just, putting the ceiling in. Oh, but the Rockin' Haunters, they're so much fun. It's kind of like a dark ride, except it's usually more fun-housey, I guess. There's more colors and stuff. Like, there's a lot of... I didn't edit that out, seriously. Oh well, it's there. Y'all saw it. Whoops. Because here's the thing, I tried it for the first episode, that's why it took me 2 days to get it out. I was supposed to, I didn't record it the same day, but I was supposed to edit it and do the voiceovers same day, but what I was having trouble with was clicking the button to play the video and start the recording at the same time. It was unrendered too, so it was like glitchy, and when I go to line them up, I couldn't. It was so out of time, like out of sync, I couldn't. Here what I'm doing, by the way, is I'm putting these in, and I did this in the other one, and I really liked it. The dark ride, and this is a dark ride. Comes up, but I make it a little bit faster, and I turn down the track friction and stuff so that it's a little bit more zippy and a little bit more fast-paced, and I think a little bit more fun, a little more fun house style. And that's the thing with the Rockin' Haunters, they're very quick and they like whip around corners and stuff, like very sharp corners, and it's just a lot of fun. And here I'm putting on some facade pieces because it just really, facade pieces just add that extra level of detail, which is another good tip, I think, if you're building not necessarily just a haunted house, but if you're building buildings with some more detail, or like something that's a little bit more antique looking, I guess, because they are pretty, I don't know, they're kind of like I don't know how to put it, something you would see on an older house or like an antique building. That's what it kind of reminds me of. That's what it would be good for. It's good for this haunted house because it's supposed to look old and intricate, but at the same time very colorful and fun. That was the thing about the Rockin' Haunters. See, look how I like that. I like it. Just adds that pop. It's just one more thing to look at, one more layer. And here what I'm doing. I did this in the last one too, and I actually did it like last minute, and I was like, I really like the way this looks. It looks like columns. I don't know. It just is, again, another level of detail. I feel like that's a really good mindset to have, especially with this game, is there's some ways you can go overboard in detail, and I feel like that's repetitive detail. Now, this is not necessarily repetitive detail, it's just layered detail, although it is a repeating piece and a repeating pattern. It's just more detail, and it ends up making it overall look more intricate, and I think that's what's all about, especially with these haunted houses, is are supposed to look older, and if you look at older style architecture, it's very intricate, and it was designed basically so that it was a piece of art to be looked back on, like 100 years from now, and someone can say, although it's a house and it's very intricate and it's just a house, it's still art, because I feel like that's what qualifies for art, is when someone takes their time into something that's creatively their own, or sometimes inspired. I mean, like, people who do, why am I recording at 49 frames a second? What the hell? OBS, you're scaring me. Okay, OBS, you do you. I don't know. You keep making me worried. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, I just added these. You look at you look at older houses. Although they're just houses, they're like, I feel like, oh, what was this thing? I got sidetracked again. Man, my ADHD's kicking in. I feel like with art, it's just when someone does something creative. It doesn't necessarily have to be a painting or a drawing. It's just has to be creative. Even things that are inspired, like, you see people do it in this game where they redo parks. I saw Knott's Berries on Yoda Girl's channel. That was a really good park. I like the sky loop. That was hard to design. I tried to do one and I was just like frustrated the whole time. I was like, why won't this work? I feel like, and like wooden coasters. Here's my thing with wooden coasters though. I really don't like it when scenery clips with rides, and it really irks me. And I had it, so I did a pier park, right, and it was wooden plank paths, but so when you place a tracked ride on top of it, it doesn't plonk down supports because it can't over them, so I had to make custom supports, which I was fine with. But some of them clipped together, and I was just like so pissed off that I couldn't figure out how to fix them. And then I was just like at my wit's end, so I was like, it looks fine, you really don't notice it, because it was just a rail. It wasn't like half the cart going through an entire. Here's where I was thinking about putting a tree with them. I was like, nah. But here's what I did. I made them autumn colored, which was, fit the scenery. I'm kind of nearing the end of the recording, so again, thank you all for watching, and I'm gonna say a few more things. Thank you to anyone who subscribed for the last video. I know it was only about 3 or 4 people last time I checked, but thank you. It really made my day. I'm gonna leave you with the music now. Please sub and hit the bell. Leave a like, drop a comment, tell me which part you think I could do better. I'll listen to feedback.